Get ready, get set, get tight in your seat, because we're going to replace your head with your feet.
Wherever you come from, state, city, or town, it's time to put your living room upside down.
In motocross racing, there's guaranteed pain, but this is ridiculous, call it insane. Before we venture into the show, you think you absolutely should know? It's moto video racing with a twist and a turn. Call it wild, call it crazy, call it crash and burn. My last name is Grubert, my first, call me Jeff, but you can just call me your crash and burn chef. These crashes are hot. I'm cooking a stew. I'd like to call it my crash and burn brew. It's good hard racing that gives me a thrill. And what's more fun than watching a spill? Don't get me wrong, this is serious stuff. Define it as a bat's just proving who's tough. It takes skill and commitment before riding a bike, but a crash like that, call it an insurance rate hike. I can see it's all worth it, a win, all right. But how do you explain when he gets knocked out of sight? So crashing in motocross, just what does it mean? Well, let's find out from Ron Lachine.
What's the worst one you've ever taken?
Oh God, knockout, my head.
Really? You like cracked your helmet?
Well, I got knocked out for, a few minutes or so and broke my nose.
Now, if you walk away from them, they're okay. It's okay, and people enjoy it to an extent. But you don't want to ever see anybody hurt. Do you ever get a kick out of watching other people once they survive it? You think, God, look how funny that is, and because you can relate.
Sure, I love to watch the crashes. As long as there's nobody getting hurt, because I've been there myself. But they're definitely funny looking, and there's just really some spectacular ones coming out these days.
I think the most horrendous thing is when you're on your bike, you're a little out of control. Maybe your feet aren't on your pegs, but you're on your throttle, but you're on it too much. You're out of control. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I think that happened to me last year in Anaheim when I broke Ron Crandall, the referee's knee. I'd landed right next to a hay bale, and it had knocked my foot off, and I fell down and was just going wide open, just riding next to the bike, and I really hurt him bad. It wasn't a good thing, but I didn't get hurt.
Well, Crandall got back, but yeah, taking out the referee, boy, did you get dock points or what?
No, I didn't get no points, Doc. Good thing.
These guys are great athletes, there is no doubt. Just look at all those fans. All they do is shout. So with who can a motocross racer compare? Football, baseball? This would not be fair. Day in and day out, it's proven he can. But to survive a crash, call him a modern-day prototype of Superman.
Surprised to find out that injuries in this wild sport are pretty uncommon for two reasons. First of all, athletes like Bobby Moore here, top 125cc rider, is in peak physical condition. Second of all, it's the safety equipment he wears. Down at the bottom, these boots are tough. His shins, ankles, toes, totally protected. There's plastic here to protect his knees. Coming up to full motocross gloves, he's got a belt here that gives him support, rock guard, shoulder pads here, helmet, full face, and his goggles. They even have roll-offs here, so when they get dirty, he can change his lens and has clear vision instantly.
Well, could it be true? A man made of steel? No, Superman, you can't eat that wheel. And what would the immortal Superman say if he lost his balance to eat something? And by now, Superman would be more than upset to see himself all muddy and wet. Okay, Superman, get out of this race. Just exit stage left and fall on your face. Now let's forget Superman and take a small chance on a front row seat at a motocross dance. This may look quite silly and full of no sense, but this kind of dancing can make you quite tense. So enough of this dancing, it's on with the show. We still have quite a long ways to go. So it's off to the races. Let's begin at the front and watch these guys go on a hole shot hunt. So it's off down the track and search for the hole. He's holding it tight while eyeing the pole. Then suddenly he turns and loses control, and it's
off the bike, over the handlebars, and out of last year's Super Bowl.
How often does this happen, and what is this guy's reason?
We have a few good ones throughout the season.
Listen real closely to this motocross tip if you want to avoid a dislocated hip. If you find yourself hungry, in need of some lunch, whatever you do, skip the Nestle Crunch. As we watch it again, I'm sure you can see that the oncoming rider wasn't stopping for tea. For Ricky Johnson, things do not look good. Everything's gone wrong that possibly could. After all this mess, what's Ricky's reply?
Did you see how I took it? Did you see me fly?
Now let me introduce a guy named Ryan, who's come a long way to do some flying. Please, let me warn you, you must be wary, because it's the Ricky Ryan triple jump theory. Try it the first time, and if you miss, come back for a perfect pavement kiss.
I've come up with just kiss the pavement, because that dirt is hard, man. It's not dirt, it's hard, it's pavement.
If all these crashes look real crazy, this next guy's brain must be extremely hazy.
This man is not a motorcycle racer. He's a daredevil and the finest over Niagara Falls in a barrel tradition. He's part of the show business that has attracted a crowd of more than 70,000 people. And here is Correll's kite cycle. A cross between Evel Knievel and Orville Wright. He's going to try to clear that big double jump. He's up. He didn't make it. Correll came up short. Ooh. A hard crash. Quickly, the medical crews rushed over to Bob Correll. The crews checked the kite cycle. Let's take another look at what happened. There's the launch. He's up. The flash bulbs pop. Just not enough momentum, and Correll really bites the dust in the bottom of the Coliseum, but he's up and okay.
Motocross racing is not this guy's game, but boy did he get his moment of fame. And what about Glover on a rampage without reason? One down on the left, that guy's out for the season. But continuing on, Brock does the bail and delivers his Yamaha first-class airmail. I wonder what that fan would say to his mother later in that day.
Oh, Mom, it was nothing. I just happened to be on the underside of a motorcycle that landed on me.
After all the commotion, it's back to the action. That is, if this guy ever gets out of traction. So let's look at this close and grab a seat, because these guys will do anything to me. See how gracefully they tend to fly. I would not call their meeting shy. And when it rains, it is no peach to wash those clothes in Clorox bleach. So if the mud gets in your way, get behind the leader and catch some spray. There's one thing for sure, these guys can't get hurt by wallowing all day in a heap load of dirt. But always remember that when you choke, expect there always to be some smoke. Let's look back at some racing of the past and see just how long some racers last. This bravery reminds me of old General Patton, but it's just the crashing of a guy named Statton.
Rex, lots of people call you a crasher. Do you think that's a fair reputation?
No, it's not. I just had a bad accident. Last year here, I tried to make all 3 jumps, and, I just tried it and didn't make it.
I'll say he didn't make it. That's incredible. Incredible that he got up and kept going.
You've got some speed, you're moving quick. Now, that's not the way to prove you're slick. So forget it, he'll walk. This hill's too big. It's time to hit the after-race gig. Meanwhile, in front, it's around a turn. Might as well watch both of them burn. Back on the bike, if only he can. Boy, this is exciting. Just look at that band. Now, this is tricky because the bikes run away and the rider's found lost in the spray. In case of a wheelie, make sure and think about the quickest way off without any stink. Then into the whoops with a jump and a bump. That's what they call taking a dump. Again, back on the bike, tight on the saddle, ready to enter a motocross battle. Fighting for first, just who is the best? Oh, get up, you guys. Quit taking a rest. Now, please, young warrior, this is no joke. You cannot clean your teeth with a spoke. Can these guys survive the pain and the kicking?
It takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
In search for the past, this guy seems picky. Now, I would not call that clever or tricky. In the life of a racer, how many smashes?
I've had my share of crashes.
So next time you're riding out on a track, don't think of crashing, go out and attack. And when crashing in motocross, please do be aware of the awkward positions that you may share. Sometimes it's left, sometimes it's right. It's up, it's down, it's clean out of sight. I often feel sorry for a guy trying his best. Call this crash the perfect
face plants, head plants, helmet tests.
But if you're a crasher, you would not admit to what some often call
Eat. That's the only one I got.
this guy is moving, there is no turning back. Flip over the hill, then crawl off the track. Watch this guy, he thinks he's neat. He knows what it's like to eat his seat. I'm all right, just let me be. Doesn't matter if I can't see. There he goes, he's leading the pack. There is no way this guy could crack. It's over the double. I spoke too fast, cause this guy may need a body cast. The rider's all right. I can hear him sigh, but Ricky Johnson would call it
falling off and dying.
Watch out to the leader, cause he'll soon see why the guy in yellow can sting like a bee. For one of these guys, this start will be short, because gymnastics are his brand new sport. This next crash is hot, and it may seem mean, but that's the best bumping I've ever seen. It may be embarrassing if you collide, but you really don't have to crawl up and hide. Where is that rider? He must be sore. Just call that crash.
Hitting your melon on the floor.
In a whoop, on a hill, round a turn, on a berm. All these crashes make me squirm. So if you don't mind, we won't delay. Let's go ahead and watch this show in instant replay. every race, there's always one face who needs some time to state his case. In this show, the face is not known, and you may even call him our Superman clone. But just sit back and relax, take a deep breath, and don't mistake the outcome for death. In this outlandish collection of bloopers, there's only one crash called King of the Loopers. The name is Upshaw, Jason his first. Now let's take a good look at his absolute worst. Down from the peristyle, he starts losing control, then it's up in the sky with a whoop whoop and roll. Now it may seem like a miracle. Let's watch it again. Jason survived this crash, but he did not win. So let's go to Atlanta, where Jason just said,
"It didn't feel as bad as it looked. If it would have, I would have been dead."
And what did the big guys have to say on that famous crash day in downtown L.A.?
The worst thing you could possibly do, off a jump, go over the handlebars?
Yeah, it's usually the worst. Probably takes the longest to get up after that one.
Did you see the kid at the Rose Bowl? I mean, at the Coliseum?
Yeah, we saw videos of those. That guy came away unhurt. It was unbelievable.
What would you call that? What's in the goriest terms of crash and burn?
Scary.
But it is part of the sport. Now, when you watch somebody endo, like at the Coliseum, that one horrendous endo, that 125 guy did, what did you think?
I thought, man, that's definitely got to make your rear end puckered be getting shot that high in the air, because the only thing that's fun to look at that is when you look back and the guy was okay, he didn't get hurt. But I don't like to watch anybody crash because I know exactly how it feels. It's not fun. It's real painful. But if you see someone crash like that and then get up and they're okay, it's good to laugh at, you know, you giggle about it, but you don't ever like to see anyone get hurt.
What goes through your mind when you're going over the handlebars? What's that called?
It's called panic. When you're on your way over, you're thinking, well, maybe I can save it. I'll hang on till the last minute. Then you get to that point to where you know there's no saving it. You're going on your butt or on your head or on your body, and you just try to let go and get as far away from the motorcycle as possible. But it's definitely not a fun feeling.
Tank slappers, endos, what is the worst wipeout you've ever seen? Was it the one at the Coliseum?
Yeah, that's probably the worst one. A guy did a full flip gain, or you know, laid out perfect. You know, got about a 9.8 on my rating, and I've never given a 10 since I am a communist judge. But you know, I think that's probably the worst crash that I've ever seen ever. And the guy got up, really, you know, got up and walked away from it. That was a spectacular thing. He was very lucky, I guess, at that point to not ever have contact with anything but the air.
There's just really some spectacular ones coming out these days.
So there you have it, a lesson to learn, and boy can it make your stomach churn. We're sad this show must come to an end, so good luck in your riding we do now send. But before we go, we'd like you to know that all of us here will feel so blue if you do not buy our Crash and Burn too.
Hi, this is Brock Glover of Team Yamaha, and after 10 years of being on the circuit and winning 6 national championships, I think I finally come up with enough information to put out a good instructional video. I'll show you many techniques that I use to win those championships. I'm going to take you out on my practice track, show you how to go through turns, jumps, berms, everything you're going to need to become a much better rider. It's going to be available for Moto Video, and it will be out on Beta and VHS. And I enjoyed making it very much, so I hope you enjoy watching it. And maybe it'll help you go out and smoke your friends. Good luck.